The Acolyte has introduced us in live action to many archaic weapons of the Jedi and Sith's past, weapons that have a long history of bloodshed behind each of them, distant memories of wars long since concluded. The light whip as wielded by Jedi Master Vernestra in the series has an incredibly complex and layered history behind it. But there is also another lightsaber that we would like to highlight today, one that stands in direct contrast to the light whip and the Jedi Master Vernestra herself. We are speaking of the stranger known as Qimir, the man that currently has no name, leading many to speculate although he has abandoned the name of his Jedi past, he has yet to claim his official name as a Dark Lord of the Sith. As when Sith claimed their Darth title, they move on from whatever being they were before that moment. It no longer matters. Qimir, being a Sith initiate himself, has yet to claim this name, holding on to a past steeped in bloodshed, abandonment, and pain, a pain that fuels him to this very day. From his lightsaber to his cortosis helmet, Qimir has meticulously designed weapons not only meant to kill Jedi, but one specific Jedi, his former Jedi Master, Vernestra. So why exactly is this, and how does the Acolyte pull from Legends continuity, especially when concerning Qimir's lightsaber and his lightsaber Shodo, and why did he construct this specifically to take out his Jedi Master? Well, students of the Force, we will answer that question today, and explore how Qimir has perfectly prepared for a confrontation with his former Jedi Master. It is clear in the Acolyte that the relationship between Master Vernestra and Qimir is extremely complex and tumultuous. The scars on the stranger's back are indicative of the light whip, the weapon wielded by Vernestra. In Star Wars canon, the history of the light whip is slightly different than it was in Star Wars Legends, being more of a Jedi weapon, when in Legends continuity it served more as a Sith tool. In fact, in Legends, the light whip was used a lot during the Sith Wars, and was largely adapted by the Jedi Order in a direct attempt to stop the dark side of the Force, and those that used it, but more specifically to counteract exactly how they fought. But how does this work in function? Although the light whip was very uncommon among the Jedi, it was known to be used by the Night Sisters and other darkside wielding clans. However, the Jedi would use this weapon specifically to counteract the forbidden techniques and lightsaber forms of the Sith, as the light whip itself was extremely unpredictable and did not function as a normal lightsaber would in combat. Vernestra would even say this in one of the novels pertaining to why she selected the light whip. Have you ever read the testimonies of Serville the Uncanny? She states that the whip was sometimes used to defend against Sith Lords who would use forbidden techniques and lightsaber forms. The light whip was exceptionally rare, and made those that were not prepared to come against it exceptionally vulnerable to its attacks. The light whip essentially used unpredictability to combat the unpredictability of a Sith fighting technique, and it worked to great effect. The reverse of this is used quite well in Legends continuity, where Lumaya, another practitioner of the light whip, experienced monumental success against some of the greatest duelists of the Jedi Order, including even Luke Skywalker. But we're not here to talk about the light whip, we're here to talk about Qimir and his lightsaber Shodo, something else that is mirrored in Legends continuity with Grandmaster Luke Skywalker. In Legends, Luke Skywalker actually constructed a second lightsaber specifically designed to help him against light whips. Luke's lightsaber Shodo was made from materials from the Stinger and powered by the blaster's power pack. Luke used the Shodo when he practiced his saber training against 3 marksman droids. The first appearance of a lightsaber Shodo was in 1985 with Marvel Star Wars number 96, where Luke unveiled his lightsaber Shodo, possessing a red crystal to the Lady Lumaya, having constructed the lightsaber Shodo after the design of his green Jedi weapon. Luke explained directly to Lumaya that the light whip served 2 different natures, unpredictability and extreme offensive output, and because of this, Luke Skywalker said that he also needed to wield weapons with 2 separate natures, one for defense and one for offense. Luke would use the lightsaber Shodo exclusively as a defensive weapon against the light whip, relying on his green Jedi lightsaber as his main offensive tool. And when implementing this, Lady Lumaya was absolutely no match for the skill of the Grand Master. But back to the Acolyte, we see that Qimir has done this exact same thing, hiding a lightsaber Shodo within his main lightsaber in an effort to use against the light whip, a precedence that was set in Legends continuity. It makes sense that Qimir would take this precaution against Vernestra, especially after being on the receiving end of her extremely unorthodox weapon. As a young Jedi, Vernestra had been a prodigy, and her gift of sensing danger was extremely potent. This is why Qimir has also integrated the Cortosis helmet. Cortosis is of course known for its property to deactivate lightsabers momentarily, another feature that Qimir has carefully crafted to defeat his former master. But there is something more going on here. A Jedi's relationship to their student is exceptionally powerful, being able to sense them nearly anywhere if they are very close. This can be so potent in fact, that Ahsoka Tano could sense Anakin Skywalker's presence from across the galaxy, and through hyperspace could sense Anakin's conflict on Coruscant. The same thing is true with Vernestra and Qimir, which is why he wears the Cortosis helmet, not only to focus his own dark side power, to cut himself off from everything except the Force itself, removing himself from the world around him so that he can focus intently. But this also stops Jedi from sensing his purpose, and most importantly, his past, allowing him to move around the galaxy undetected so that the Jedi cannot sense a familiar signature. One Jedi specifically, Vernestra. Qimir is still very clearly holding on to his past, who he once was as a Jedi student under a master. He has not let go of who he once was. He has even constructed his lightsaber and his helmet around his past as a Jedi. He is brilliant, cunning, and patient, but he has yet from a full Sith. Someone who has abandoned the old ways entirely, risen above anything that the Jedi could possibly offer. Qimir's journey is clearly just at the beginning, as he is currently defined for his hatred for his former master, desiring power that the Jedi wish to withhold from him. Power that he believes is his right to claim if he is able to. The right of any great and powerful Dark Lord of the Sith. Qimir is an exceptional Jedi killer, but is he capable of something else? Is he capable of becoming something far more deadly, powerful, and vile? Is he capable of becoming the disease that no true Sith would ever wish to be cured of? If the Acolyte continues, we will have to wait and see. But as always, my friends, what are your thoughts on this? What are your thoughts on Qimir's unique weapon, and how he designed it specifically to counteract his former Jedi Master? What are your thoughts on his apparent apprenticeship under Darth Plagueis the Wise? And do you want to see an Acolyte Season 2 potentially continue this story? As always, my friends and students of the Force, thank you so much for visiting our archives today. May the Force be with you, and I hope to catch you in a later Holocron reading.